Sanibonani, this is Pastor Thandiwe Nyoni from Johannesburg, South Africa. I would like to invite and involve you on my new program called Uhambo, Lwami, NoNkulunkulu. I don't know about you, but for me, I have seen God challenging me, helping me, carrying me throughout my life. I am 47 years of age. In fact, I've just turned 47 last month. My life has been a journey of ups and downs, beauty, hate, pain, love, everything you can think of. And as I reflected on my life, I thought, why don't I start either a YouTube channel or a Facebook online channel where I would start talking about Uhambo Lwami NoNkulunkulu and also invite people around the world, whether in South Africa, Canada, or anywhere place in the world, and they should start reflecting about their own lives. La uNkulunkulu ebathathe khona kude kube yilesikhathi sanamhlanje. Like I've said, with me, I'm 47 years of age. In fact, my first encounter noNkulunkulu, I remember I was in sub A, which is grade 1. I was attending school at a Bichuma primary school, and I was one of those children who used to spend their money in the morning. I used to spend my pocket money before school, and after class and after school, I could not. I didn't have anything to spend. When other children were spending, buying sweets and chips with their money, I had nothing I had no money to spend at the time. So this particular day I had decided, you know what? Instead of me throwing my money in the morning, let me just wait. Let me just delay my gratification and wait until after school then, so that I can be just like anybody else. Enjoy imali. As God would have it. That day we were playing during lunchtime at school. Siyagijima. Epitroma used to have long grass and a very big playground, and we were running around during lunchtime. Unfortunately, I lost my 10 cents. I mean, imagine that was the very day that I had decided to namhlanje imali yami ngiyayibeka. You know, yeah, God. I remembered that God answers. In fact, I remember there was something called prayer. At the age of 6, I remembered I remember closing my eyes, standing in that playground. It's as if Gwama Ganganum Shaba, as I stood, and I asked God for my money. I remember asking God for my money. 10 cents as a 6-year-old. It was a very short prayer, but ekuvuleni amehlo nami, my 10 cents beseyinyaweni zami. Talk about answered prayer. Talk about a miracle, my very first miracle with God. I don't know about you, but I have since had instances where I have seen God taking me out of situations that could have swallowed me alive, but uNkulunkulu wangikhipha ngiyaphila today. Hence this program called Uhambo Lwami NoNkulunkulu. It's about praising God and worshiping God with storytelling, with telling our stories, the times when uNkulunkulu had saved us from situations that were hard for us at that time. If I were to move fast forward, in 2002, I was doing my master's in business administration. Okay, I'm a former social worker. I have an MBA, and I'm an ordained pastor. I was ordained last year, 21 September 2019, by my church, Pentagon Global Fellowship Ministries. However, in 2002, I had a mental breakdown. It had started ngesandla, physical breakdown. It a mental breakdown. I was doing my dissertation at the time. I was doing my dissertation about almost, at the end, your dissertation, and I just became exhausted. My body had given in. I struggled. Ngakhathala ngaba ne-breakdown. My right hand could not work. It became paralyzed. I had to type with my left hand. Talk about God. Talk about God. Because my dissertation had to be in nonetheless. I typed ngesandla C1 whilst my hand and my leg were paralyzed. Talk about Uhambo lwami noNkulunkulu emhlabeni. Nonetheless, my dissertation was handed in nge-7 October 2002. I graduated nge-7 December 2002 with an MBA after I had gone through a physical and a mental breakdown. This is about Uhambo Lwami noNkulunkulu. But I also want to involve you as a South African or as a person in this world, whether you're in the United States, you're in whichever Europe, whichever part of the world you are listening or watching this from. But there is a testimony or instances in your life where you have seen God. Let me just show you a record of places or things that we have my work which has been featured before. I run a company called Uncede Protege. We do motivation, we go do counseling and strategic planning. When you see my background here, it's a poster of our session which is going to be in November this year. Over the years, God has been so gracious and featured us on TV, on newspapers, on magazines, whether it was my life story shared or the work that we do. Let me just show you examples. Ngikhuluma ngohambo lwami noNkulunkulu, by the way. A Real magazine in 2008 shared a story of my life. They captured everything in word, where I've been, the high school I've attended, the story that I've just shared, kancane, mental breakdown, and how I came out of it. And maybe, just to be honest, had it not been for Christ, ngaba ngiphili today. Uhambo lwami noNkulunkulu lalihamba khona. As we started doing the motivational wellness sessions over the years, this magazine, Soweto Business Guide, assisted us in marketing and showing our work, where we hosted it in different places, restaurants, community halls, anywhere else where they could have us. So God had been so gracious to us. Uhambo lwethu noNkulunkulu, by the way, the very first motivational piece that I wrote in 2005, Peace in Our Hearts, How Can We Replace It? It was featured on Parable magazine years back. So God has been so good. There are many other examples here, other magazines, about Parable, the Urban News, where they featured us when we had our events in other places as well. So there's a whole lot of places where God has been very gracious to us. So I wonder about you. I wonder about the world. I wonder about that individual, a husband to so and so, a wife to so and so, a preacher, a minister, an accountant, whichever role you play, emhlabeni, even somebody who's a domestic worker who cleans somebody else's house. You have a testimony about your life. You have a story where God has taken you from a muddy clay and put you a canyon. This topic or this program, it's about us seeing God in our lives. Uhambo lwami noNkulunkulu. I share stories about my life. In fact, I plan to time and again think about events where God has really assisted me emhlabeni. But I also would like you to share your story. If you would like to be part of this program or part of this journey, please send us a WhatsApp on this number 084 669 3615, 084 669 3615. I'd like to thank God for this time, and I pray ukuthi will have like isikhathi esihle noNkulunkulu endleleni. As Thandiwe Nyoni esumfundisi, ngiyabonga for this time. See you next time.